Astral Chain is a very interesting game. At its core, it's a platinum game, but they certainly tried some different things with this one. You know how the basic gameplay works. You and your stand, knocking around small fry and challenging bosses, but there's a bit more here than that. Certain parts of the game take you to the astral plane, or the puzzle dimension, as some call it. You see, throughout the game, you'll have 5 different stands, and in addition to having different abilities in combat, they'll also boast unique environmental abilities. The sword one can slash through certain obstacles, the arrow one can shoot switches, both allowing you to progress. These are very light puzzle elements, and while they could have been utilized better, they work well to break up the constant platinum-esque gameplay you'll be dealing with for the entirety of the game. Frankly, this game's combat feels a bit like Nier Automata's, but there certainly is much more on display this time around. You'll have to use your different stands to beat different enemy types, and each one can be upgraded individually. I will say that this game has a bit of a hand-holding problem, and although understandable, considering the level of complexity of the combat, gets in the way at times, especially at the end, when you probably know everything anyway. Astral Chain is less Bayonetta than you might think. There are many RPG elements at play here, and although you're graded on individual sections of each file, at least on PT standard difficulty and above, the enemy's attacks and your possibly over or underpowered moveset don't lend themselves to a pure action game, which this is obviously not. By the end of the game, I was, quite frankly, ready and waiting for it to end. But that doesn't necessarily mean I didn't enjoy it. I was simply tired of the repetitive combat, which is partly my fault since I did just about every side quest in sight. At the end of the day, I think Astral Chain does a lot of things right, but it's hampered by its incredibly dull, uninteresting plot and ostensibly complicated combat, which by the end turns into simply mashing the attack button, dodging every once in a while, and taking items when you get hit by attacks that have hitboxes double their size. From this kind of scathing sounding review, you might think I disliked the game, but when all was said and done, there was a lot I enjoyed about it. In the end, I think Astral Chain is a cool game that has some awesome bosses, a pretty great soundtrack, but unfortunately stumbles in some important areas. Regardless, thanks for the fun new IP, Platinum, and I hope this game sells well, because I can see a sequel taking this game from good to pretty damn good.